Yes, YouTube. Hello, party people. Hope you're okay. Right, it's a Monday lunchtime. I'm feeling a bit Monday lunchtime-ish. And I've had a new camera, which is cool. So I'm going to not be looking into this. I'm going to be looking into the sort of the viewfinder on the side. Apologies for that in advance. But it's been a while since I've been on here, guys. Not going to lie, lost the motivation. You know, one thing led to another. I'd rather be watching than making. But I've invested in a camera. So I think I ought to use it. And one of the things I've been meaning to do for a while now is do a little demo, or just a walkthrough actually, of my coffee machine. Like I said, feeling a bit Monday-ish. Need a little shot of espresso. This is the Sage Barista Express, I think. I've had it for quite a while. It was a lockdown purchase. It's also something that you know, I was skeptical about buying. I'm not sure really on, you know, whether I would use it. That was the first thing. And I think I've actually proven that, you know, I use this about 4 or 5 times a day. Yeah, I am a bit of a caffeine addict, but you know, it's something that really has been worth its weight in gold. So I'm quite happy with it. This isn't a sort of how to make coffee tutorial, and you'll notice that the clean me light's on, so I need to run through, and I'll probably do a little tube about how I sort of do that. But this is my typical run through of how I use this machine on a daily basis. You've noticed I've just fired it up by simply pressing the power button. There's lots of different filter sizes and buttons, grind sizes, bits and pieces. I occasionally have to adjust this. On the side here, I've got it pushed right up against there because I sort of only use one type of bean, and I only ever really need to click it a couple of very minute sort of settings. Now I've got it dialed in. Like I said, this is not a dial-in video, you know, don't expect me to be showing you how to do things. Put something in the comments below if you'd like me to do a run through of how I dial the machine in, because I'm more than happy to do that. But I've had this now for probably about 2 years, or at least 18 months, over 18 months to 2 years. And I'm by no means an expert, but I'd like to say that, you know, I can dial it in pretty good. I know what I'm doing in that respect for a coffee that tastes good for me. And I'll always caveat that, you know, these sort of things are very much, you know, dependent on how you want to use them, how quickly you want to make a cup of coffee, and, you know, how good you want it to taste. So this machine here can actually make a superb espresso. For a budget machine, I think this was about between £450 and £550 when I bought it. And, you know, it makes a blooming good cup of coffee. There's only been a couple of upgrades that I've sort of done. This is one. What I'll do is I'll just cut the video here and I'll sort of walk you through how I'm going to do that, and I'll just need to set the camera down and spend a bit of time doing that. So I'll see you in a bit, guys. Right, so I started just running through some of these buttons. There's a number of settings. There's a sort of grind size setting on the side. That's grind amount, filter size, single and double. There's a program button, never use that. There's a single dose button, never use that. There's a double dose button, which I use. Now, there's a secret actually. A secret on how I sort of how I make my cup of coffee, my cup of espresso. So it comes that's alive. It comes with sort of portafilter, the group head that's up here. I tend to just do, first thing I'll power this on. machine comes to light. It will then take probably, I don't know, 30 seconds to come to temperature, in which time all the lights stop flashing, which I've done. What I normally do is just run a bit of water through there, get the group head nice and warm. And I bought this actually, which clips on to the portafilter like that, and it just, as you can see, I haven't got much space. I'll just let that run through. I just let that run through. So basically I haven't got a lot of space here, so this just helps things be a little bit cleaner and tidier. What I'll do is I simply, let me just pop this here, tamp that down so all of the coffee is sort of evenly distributed. I get the tamp jobber here and I simply pop that in, add a bit of pressure, get it nice and level, take that away, and then apply the appropriate pressure to that. I find that I don't have to put loads of pressure in, but what you do have to do with these is make sure you get that nice and level all the way round, so it's nice and flat. Reinstall that. Pop the portafilter back in. You can see there. What I tend to do is this cup, as you can see, has been used before, so I'll just pour a bit of water into there, using this on the dial on the side. Just give that a quick swirl out. That's done a couple of things. That's warmed the cup up, and now we will press the double button. Now watch what I do here, because this is a secret. I've just done it. All my trade secrets. And there you have it, guys. A nice espresso being poured into my espresso cup. Lovely. Lovely. Now I don't know whether you noticed that, I actually manually stopped that. So one thing I do with this machine is I don't let it run through its own program. Let's see whether I can get the machine in and me. Look at that fantastic camera work. Yes, yes. I manually start this by holding it, and that will probably run a 30-second cycle at the desired pressure. Well, obviously the pressure depends on how you've tamped the coffee and what have you. So that's my secret there, and that's how I get sort of results like this, ladies and gentlemen, a perfect cup of espresso, which is excellent really. I tend to enjoy these throughout the day. And it's a great brew. Basically, that's it. That's how I make my cup of coffee in the morning, noon and at night. Couple of tips for you: just be consistent, always do the same thing over and over again. You know, make sure your tamp's the same, adjust your grind size and your dose accordingly. I've never messed with the temperature on this. I've always kept that consistent out of the box, but obviously I have tweaked the grind size. If it comes out too weak, you're going to want to probably make the grind a little bit finer and like dust, basically. Get really fine, get rid of all those granules out of there. Likewise, you can sort of stiffen things up and make the drink stronger by increasing the dose. And when I mean increase the dose, all you really need to do is sort of alter that by 1 gram or 2 grams at a time. That's like 4 or 5 or 6 beans. Literally is that precise. But what I tend to do is I'll use the settings on there as a base and then work off those and just hope that they're consistent. Like I said, for me, I can make a cup of coffee from that quicker than I can make a cup of tea from a kettle. You know, the time it takes the kettle to boil, I'm already in there, I'm already drinking my drink before the kettle's finished boiling. So, you know, it's pretty quick, it's pretty efficient, and I'm pretty pleased with it. It's worth its weight in gold. It's a real good little machine. Now, I know this machine is actually sort of at time of going to print, I know this machine has now been sort of superseded with the next model. If you can pick one of these up second hand, or if you can still find some in the stores, this machine is well worth its money. If you're a coffee enthusiast, if you're determined to make a good brew, then this is the machine for you, because you can actually get superb results with this machine. So hopefully I haven't waffled too much, and hopefully this is sort of inspired you to go out and buy one of these machines, or at least look into it. I'll put some more, if this video goes well, I'll put a couple more videos on there about how I dial in with a bit more of a tutorial base, but started for 10. I just thought that, you know, I'd do a video on the fly. Now it's time to go back to work.